I'm gonna share with you 10 interview tips that will help you land your dream school counseling role. Welcome back to my channel. My name is John Burnett and this is Counseling with Mr. B, where I help you live, learn, and be stress-free. Preparing for an interview doesn't have to be stressful. There are some things that you can do on the front end and the back end to make sure that you are ready and you go in there and you make the best impression that you can possibly make. So I'm gonna share with you 10 tips that will help you land your dream job, because these are tips that I have done and they have proven to work for me, and hopefully they will work for you as well. Tip number 1, play Inspector Gadget and look up the school's online presence. So search the website, that's where you start. Read the mission and vision of the school. You can look up the demographics of the school. You can look up the percentage of male and female students, the test data, and all of these things will give you a really clear picture of what kind of community that school serves so that you can be prepared when you go into the interview knowing what you can do to help serve that community. Also, it's a good idea to search the school's social media presence. Look up their Twitter, their Facebook, their Instagram, and when you look up these things, be strategic. Have a notebook ready. Write down some of the activities that you see the school has participated in the previous year. Dress up days, fun events, motivational speakers, programs, field trips, family events. Be able to talk to those things. Oh, I saw that you all did a community event on September and it looked really fun. These are talking points in the interview, and it's really good idea because it shows initiative and it shows that you really are invested in the community. Tip number 2 involves creating a portfolio. I would go to Kinko's, make some copies of the pictures and the flyers and things that I participated in, and put that in a cheap folder. I would go to Target or Walmart, buy a 50-cent folder with the pockets and the brads, get some sheet protectors and some dividers, and I will put those things in my portfolio. So I will hand them the folder with my resume, my cover letter, and all of my documents and pictures, and tell them that it's theirs to keep. It leaves a really good impression. Tip number 3 involves preparing your own interview questions. So of course, when you go into this, they're gonna ask you some questions and be ready, but you also prepare some questions. Interviews are a two-way street, and you are making sure you wanna stay in this school, that you wanna be a part of the community, and you wanna work with the people that you're interviewing with. Tip number 4, bring a notepad. And when you walk in and after you've done your greetings and you sit down, politely inform them, hey, I'm gonna be taking notes, I hope that's okay. But you know, when you're in interviews, sometimes you're so focused or hyper-focused that you don't hear everything. It helps you to, 1, calm down, and it helps you to refocus. So I don't write out the question they ask me, I'll write down keywords. So if they ask me a question with multiple parts, I definitely want to make sure that I write down keywords so that I can listen intently and answer the question directly. It's nothing worse than when an interviewer asks you a question and you don't answer it or you talk around in circles. You have to be able to answer the question specifically. If you're still with me, drop in the comment section an emoji that describes you. Tip number 5 is probably one of the most important tips. Be yourself. You are you. Be unique. Stand out. Don't go in there trying to be all polished and prim and proper. Be who you are. Show your personality. You're already in the door. They saw something on your resume or your cover letter or your application that stood out. So it's not about showcasing that so much anymore. Now you want to showcase your personality. Also, this is kind of a bonus tip, but be confident. Walk in there knowing that I am me, I am awesome, and you will be lucky to have me at your school. So you better hire me. And if you don't, I will find something else. Tip number 6, while you're listening to these questions and you're taking notes, take a moment before you answer. If it's a complex question with multiple parts, don't just immediately start spouting off an answer. If you need to, ask them to repeat the question. That's okay. Let them know that I heard you and I want to give you the best answer that I possibly can. It's okay to pause for a second, take a deep breath, and relax. Interviews actually appreciate that. It shows that you're intentional with your answers and your thought process. Tip number 7 involves your posture. Make sure that you are sitting up straight. Make sure that you are comfortable in the seat that you're in. Make sure that you're not fidgeting with your hands, and make sure that your feet are firmly planted on the ground. This helps because it shows confidence. Tip number 8, turn off your phone or put it on Do Not Disturb, and don't even have it in your line of sight. There's nothing worse than being distracted by an incoming text message or a notification on your phone and you look and you get thrown off. I take my phone in the interview with me, but I always put it in my pocket and put it on silent. Sometimes I just turn it off just because I don't want any distraction. I don't want an alarm to pop off or something. Tip number 9, look at everyone in the room. Sometimes when we're in an interview or a conversation with a panel, it's easy to only look at the school leader or the principal. There's actually research that shows that when you go into those situations, you only look at the person who's in charge, the boss, the principal, the whoever. It's important to make sure everyone feels valued in that room. And this is something that I had to strategically work on. Tip number 10 is simple. Thank everyone for their time. Pre-COVID, I would shake hands. Some principals still do this now. Do that at your own discretion. But if nothing else, just stand up, wave, smile, thank them for their time. Send them a follow-up email, a thank you email. Make it simple, not long, drawn out. And that's it. These are 10 tips that you can use to land your school counseling dream job. I believe in you, I have confidence in you, but if you don't get the job, then use this same process and keep going until you will. All right? Drop in the comments section which tip was your favorite interview tip. Make sure you mash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you are aware of when I post new videos. Are you a counselor, administrator, or teacher, or a mental health professional? If so, please join the Learning Lab. It's a Facebook group that I created as a place for us to network, share ideas with each other, and most importantly, get resources. The link for the Learning Lab Facebook group is in the description below. Join it. You will be happy that you did.